You don't have to.
I'm in the business of helping people. And that's what Marissa wants to do, and what she does. And I believe in this is that, life is too short. You want to grow as fast as possible and expand as fast as possible, and you can do that. And RTT is one way to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
And what would you say? Because I did therapy a couple months ago, just normal therapy. I don't know what that even means, but normal therapy, just
talk therapy.
Talk therapy.
Yeah,
exactly.
How you're feeling, what's happening, or
exactly.
Awareness.
And I think I did about 4 sessions, and it was very helpful.
Yeah.
Very, very helpful.
Yeah.
I definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things. My whole thing was I was not enough. That was the underlying belief. But after going through this course and seeing the power of RTT and hypnotherapy and how many things it can fix, the question I started to ask myself is, why would I go to another form of therapy rather than just do this? But like you were saying earlier, there's a place for everything.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying
no,
that's
exactly.
not, you know what I mean?
I think it's a place for everything. And there's sometimes, like you said, that you didn't know, you felt that you want to talk it out. Okay. So, and it's about awareness as well. Even kinesiology is about awareness. So you want to be aware of what's happening. Why are you feeling like this? What's coming up? What triggered it? And sometimes just talking about it and having an understanding of it is really helpful.
Yeah.
50% of it is going to be awareness anyway. And so I really validate that as well. Where I think it's become sometimes an issue is, for instance, I've had a client who's, had been raped 3 times in her life. And she was seeing someone on a weekly basis to talk about it for 2 years. For what? I don't think that that's going to really make much difference talking about it. And, there's enough studies now as well. I think Harvard did one as well, that you talk, because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, like sports people will imagine that they've made the perfect serve, in tennis, or throw the ball perfectly in a basket hoop, or done a golf swing perfectly, whatever it is. You can visualize anything to do perfectly, and the brain will know different. I used to use that method for my running. When I was in London, I used to run near the river in Hammersmith every Sunday, whether it was cold or sunny, and I used to dread doing the 6-mile run. I used to dread it.
Oh,
but
6 miles
it's quite long.
Yeah.
And but how I used to get over it was, before the run, I used to visualize that I was running, that I did the run, and I'd really visualize it and really feel that I'd already done it. So the mind had thought, oh, okay, you've just done it, and you don't just want to do it again. And so when I used to go for the run was so much more easier. It just flowed, because you think, well, you've already done it, so it doesn't matter.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
So you can visualize. Now, that's a very positive way of reviewing things and visualizing, creating. But the thing is, if you're talking about the same problem again and again, and you're reliving the experience, because you're effectively reliving and re-triggering potentially as well that experience, that's not going to give you any value, and it doesn't help. So in those instances, I think that's where tapping at the subconscious level is very important, to clear all of that so you can move on.
Yeah, exactly.
I've worked with couples as well. Recently, I worked with a couple who both had their own baggage, and they were talking. They'd been seeing a therapist for 1.5 years. I think that was just too long to deal with, and they got tired in the end. They just it wasn't working for them, and so I was recommended for their mutual friend. And they worked with me, and really it was about clearing each of their baggages and what they came into. Because again, as I said to you, other people, you get triggered by other people, but it's not the person.
No.
It's you being triggered by something that happened to you.
Yeah.
And it's just about clearing that.
Yeah.
And so this couple were triggering each other from stuff that they've been carrying and hadn't cleared out.
Yeah.
And so once we did that, they had a lot of understanding with each other about what was the past from their previous issues, and then having to them connect a bit better. So, it works for the couples as well. You do that. So you do a bit of marriage counseling that way.
For sure.
And I'm really, and also, medication, it has its place and it's valuable as and when it's needed.
Yeah. Not that shouldn't be the first line.
No, I think that there should be a whole criteria or steps to get to that.
Yeah.
But everything has its place.
Yeah, everything has its place. I think that's the right approach to have as well.
Over
the years, so you've been doing it now for a couple of years.
5 years.
5 years. Yeah, that's a long time. I can imagine, because it was really interesting to talk to you, because I'm at level 1 and you're at level 5. So I'm curious, so interested to see when you were starting out. how long did it take for you to start feeling like really comfortable with like the whole like taking someone through the sessions and stuff? Was it quick or
I
was
was
it?
trained really well, so
And you're trained directly with Marissa too, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sick.
we're live. So
Yeah.
I was trained, I think, in the first few sessions.
Really?
You follow the process, and you follow the process. I don't think you can go wrong. And I think you just tap into your intuition, your common sense, and things like that. And even more so now, I mean, the program is trained and taught very, very well anyway. So I think that you'll be given the confidence and the belief to be able to do it, and you have enough practice beforehand anyway.
Yeah.
So that you feel that you're doing it. You can just do it.
Yeah,
You just did it yesterday.
That's
You did
true.
really well. So what the hell? There's no reason for you to question yourself.
That's true. That's true.
I think you and Marissa does also this whole thing about being the phenomenal therapist. She does a group session on
Yeah,
everyone.
she always says that. Yeah. That's her like phrase.
So exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
so look, there's no reason for you to it's self-belief.
Self-belief. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So when you started doing it here in Dubai, you've been doing it since 2017, right? In Dubai.
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you started compared to now, how has the perception changed around things like hypnotherapy? Because I feel now it's a lot
much
more prevalent.
Yeah, it's
so
much
was it
more.
more difficult when you were starting out, or?
No, people knew about it then because there's hypnotherapy here anyway, and people know about it. People didn't really know much about RTT, but they were beginning to understand it and things. But now a lot of people know about RTT, and it's grown. I mean, Marissa, the course, and Marissa and has won so many awards, but on the efficacy of it all, and it's grown so immensely for people who want to train, but people who want to have the sessions, so on both sides. And yeah, I mean, the thing is that, but people were, if people wanted help, and as I said, people wanted to, when they want help and they see that something's is gonna be effective and fast, then they want to help. Nothing's a magic pill, but it's going to be way faster than a lot of other things that sometimes they may be sick and tired of going through talk therapy or or feeling the pain that they've been feeling. They want to get rid of it, and they want to really do some deep work and to clear it all out.
Yeah. And over the years, I know each client you probably worked with gives you an immense feeling of satisfaction that you're able to help them with the issue. But was there one client that really stands out that you can remember?
So many now, honestly.
There are so
many, and I couldn't really name one. I mean, there are so many on so many levels. It's just blown me away.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a veteran who'd been blown up 27 times in a tank, and she'd been constantly seeing a doctor. Various doctors, had so many operations, and she developed severe anxiety, and she couldn't bring herself to. She couldn't bring herself to go into the doctors anymore. It was too much for her. I'd worked with her, but one of the sessions we did, and that one session just changed her completely.
Really?
Yeah. I had another client who, there's been obviously cults, where there've been abuse and things like that, and cleared all of that, and that they felt better, let go of all of that. I had one client who was really skeptical with me, and she was recommended by her sister, and she said, well, she told me to speak to you, and
I'm just going to do it, yeah.
No, and we're going to have this chat, but look, I'm not going to waste your time. I just don't want to be bullshitted. Just tell me what it is and how you're going to help me, and if if you can't help me, just tell me, because I don't want to waste my time. I mean, that's how the conversation started. I thought, okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah, and she'd had a lot of things, and she'd had a nervous breakdown at one point, and she'd left work, and now she was trying to have a baby, plus she had a real passion for singing and things, and she had lots of blocks. And so she was really skeptical, and I love a challenge. So, so I said to her, look, I know you've gone through a lot of experiences and you find this expensive, but I know I can help you, provided you're open and I'm willing to get help. And so why don't I do this? Why don't you work with me and don't pay me until at the end? And if you feel that you've got the results, then pay me afterwards. Okay. So she couldn't really say no to that. So we were first worked on her voice, and she had a beautiful voice, and she had a real fear she'd been having issues about her voice. Her throat was blocked with a lot of emotion that she'd been carrying. A lot of people I've had who have lose their voice, because they're carrying a lot of emotion or haven't been able to speak up. And so she was one of them, and it was all a lot to do with the trauma from the childhood. And then we cleared stuff all about to do with songwriting, and also finding the guitarist or the band, and then her standing up and doing the gigs. And then we worked on that, and then she then sent me the videos of the gigs she did. And I mean, I still have that, and the music. She's got an amazing voice. So that was that one done. So that was one thing that she had. And then she was going for IVF, and she had a lot of issues, IVF, and she had only one embryo left, and there was a lot of complications and things. And I said, look, and we're working together. So she said, I want you to help me with this. I said, okay. So we worked together on that.
The egg thing that's glowing.
And things like that. So we did all of that, and it was her last one. And she got pregnant.
That's awesome.
And
that's
a year ago, she had a baby girl. And this September, I think it was September the 6th, I called her up, I messaged her again. I said, it's your daughter's birthday, 1 year old. She said, yes. I said, wish her happy birthday. I hope you're well. And I hope you're well. So, yeah, that was a client who was extremely skeptical.
Yeah.
She was like being recommended, and she thought, okay, maybe she can help me or not anyway. And we did both these big things that she wanted to achieve in her life, and she got them.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So that's, I think, one of the, I have a lot of others I could talk about, but I mean, it's blessings. They're all blessings.
Yeah, it really come on, to help someone, the voice is one thing, but to help someone like get pregnant, and that you have a gift that's always going to remind her of you.
Well, I don't know if she can remember me, but the thing is, like, the fact that she's got a baby and she's happy, and she sent me a little clip as well. Yeah. And I'm not God, but the thing is that I try and help. I'm helping the West with the techniques that I've learned, from Rissa. So and other things. Yeah.